Hello, and welcome to today's training on production records. Production records are a federal regulation. They fall under 7 CFR Section 10.10. The regulation states that schools must keep production and menu records for the meals they produce. These records must show how the meals contribute to the required food components, food items, and menu items every day. The food production record is a required closing document. It must be completed daily, and it must be maintained as a record of the food planned, food prepared, and food served. It documents that an adequate amount of food was prepared and served. It also documents that the requirements for the meal components were met. The production record is a management tool, and it is required by USDA. It supports the claim for reimbursement. It also documents the menu, identifying the type of food prepared, the serving size, the quantity of food served, the number of portions served, and the leftover food portions. The production record is also a forecasting tool. As with all records in the National School Lunch, School Breakfast program, the production record must be kept for the current year plus the past 3 years. The advantage of using production records. There are a number of things that are identified as a helping tool for production records. Production records help to minimize overproduction of food. They control food waste. It's a tool for identifying student acceptability of menu items. It spots trends for future menu development. It's an ordering tool, and it aids in controlling cost. Production records are used by child nutrition directors, program managers and supervisors, line staff, and state agency reviewers. Child nutrition directors use production records as a planning and forecasting tool, as a communication tool for all employees, to modify menu combinations, to establish portion sizes and meal pattern contributions, to standardize employee work methods, and to document program compliance. Managers use production records for meal planning and service, as an ordering guide, to forecast accurately by reviewing past production records, to communicate to line staff, to document meal planning, production, and service, and to track inventory usage. Line staff use production records to know the daily menu items, to know what foods to prepare, to determine the amount of foods to prepare, to know what recipes to use, to determine the correct portion size to serve, to understand the meal pattern components, to record the amount of food served and left over. State agency reviewers use production records to verify compliance with USDA regulations for the National School Lunch Program, the School Breakfast Program, the After School Snack Program, and the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. On your screen is the New Mexico production record. This is the standardized production record used throughout the state of New Mexico. For school districts that would like to customize their own production record, this is allowable as long as they seek the approval of the state agency and all the appropriate information is contained on the customized production record. We'll take a quick view at each section of the New Mexico production record. First, we'll begin with the production record header. This identifies the first 7 items on the production record. First is the school. Number 2 is the menu item. Number 3 is the number of meals served, both for students and adults. Number 3 is completed at the end of meal service. Number 4 is the date of service. Number 5 is the day of the week. Number 6 is the meal service, breakfast, lunch, or school snack. And number 7 is the grade grouping. The next section of the production record is the menu planning section. This is items 8 through 19. Items 8 through 13 are the menu items for the day of service. Here we identify each menu item in the appropriate category. Our sample here shows that we put chicken nuggets under the meat alternate. We identify the vegetables, the carrot sticks and the green beans under the vegetable section, the fresh apple under the fruit, and the dinner roll under the grain. Number 14 identifies the manufacturer's code or recipe number. The example here shows that chicken nuggets is recipe E123. The carrot sticks recipe number is B1. The dinner rolls do not have a recipe, but the manufacturer's name and the manufacturer's number is identified. So Bake Right, number 456. Number 15 is the portion size as served. We'll see from our example here that 5 chicken nuggets is the serving size. A half a cup of carrots and a half a cup of green beans is the serving size for the vegetables. 1 fresh apple is the serving size for the fruit, and 1 dinner roll is the serving size for the grain, and milk is served in 8-ounce portions. Number 16 identifies the meal component contribution. The example we have here, chicken nuggets, is identified as 2 meat alternates and 1 grain. The carrot sticks are identified as a half a cup of the red-orange vegetable. The green beans are identified as a half a cup of other vegetable. The fresh apple contributes 1 cup of fruit. The dinner roll counts as 1 grain, and the milk is identified as 1 portion of milk. Number 17 identifies the number of planned reimbursable meals. This is what the manager or head cook is planning to serve for reimbursable meals. It's what they estimate will be served. In this example, the manager is identifying chicken nuggets as 140 servings. In other words, they're assuming that of all the children who come through the line, 140 will select a reimbursable meal that contains chicken nuggets. They're identifying carrot sticks as 100 servings. They assume that 125 students will take green beans, 115 will take a fresh apple, and 140 will take dinner rolls. They're also identifying the different flavors of milk and how many students they assume will take each of the identified milks. Number 18 is the number of adult and a la carte planned meals. These are the items that the manager or the head cooks is preparing for students or adults who are taking food as extra. In other words, they're not part of the reimbursable meal. In this example, the manager assumes that there will be 10 adult or a la carte chicken nuggets served, 10 servings of green beans, 5 apples, 10 dinner rolls, and 5 servings of milk. In number 19, this is the allowable servings per purchase unit of each menu item. In this example, there are 55 servings of chicken nuggets per case. There's 120 servings of carrot sticks per case. There's 24 servings of green beans per can, 150 apples per case, and 12 dinner rolls per package. The next section of the production record identifies the production portion of the production record. In this, we look at the total quantity of food prepared, the number of portions prepared, the number of student reimbursable meals served, the number of adult and a la carte meals served, the number of portions left over, and there's a comment section. So if we look at our original section of the production record where we have the chicken nuggets, the manager is saying that in number 20, they prepared 3 cases of chicken nuggets. And those 3 cases served were 165 individual portions. Next, at the end of serving, we would look at 24, number 24, and someone would go out and count the leftover chicken nuggets. In this particular instance, there was 12 servings of chicken nuggets left over. We had 145 chicken nuggets served to students in reimbursable meals, and 8 were served for adult and a la carte meals. The next section is the production record finalization. And as I mentioned in the header, at the end of meal service, we go back to number 3 and we identify the number of reimbursable and non-reimbursable meals served. In this case, we had 145 students who ate a reimbursable meal, and we had 8 adults participating at lunch as well. At the completion of this, we need to verify that the information on the production record is complete and accurate, and the manager or designated person assigned to completion of the production record signs the production record to verify the information is correct. So on the screen now, you will see what a completed production record looks like. So we have each of our menu items, our product codes, our portion sizes, our meal contributions, the number of planned reimbursable servings, the planned number of student and a la carte and adult meals. We have the allowable servings per purchase case. We identify the total quantity of food prepared, the number of portions prepared, the number of student reimbursable meals served, the number of adult meals served, and the number of leftover servings. At the top in the header, you will then see number 3, where it shows the number of students who participated and the number of adults who participated. This is what a completed production record should look like at the end of each day, and this does need to be documented every day at the end of meal service for breakfast, lunch, after school snack, and any fresh fruit and vegetable programs. Schools are allowed to use customized production records. They may be computerized or pre-printed. There does need to be separate production records for things like salad bars and special serving lines. And separate production records must be maintained for all meal service, so breakfast, lunch, after school snacks, and your fresh fruit and vegetable program. Condiments must be recorded on the production record, or a school may select to have a separate production record for condiments, as long as it is completed daily. Production records are at the core of a successful child nutrition program, from menu planning to preparing the food, to serving the required foods, to counting the meal service, to completing the edit checks, and to submitting the claim. The production records are at the core of the success of the child nutrition program. Production records are your story. All schools do a great job in serving the students in our state. So we want to make sure that you tell your story and you record your information on your production record. Don't leave it blank. Make sure that you tell the story of the success of your program by completing the pages of the production record. If you have any questions about today's training, make sure you contact the state agency Child Nutrition Program, and we will be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you for your time.